Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into some seriously thought-provoking AI debates.
Oh, absolutely.
We've got sources covering everything from AI surveillance and the future of jobs
Yeah.
to how AI is being used to make major decisions.
It's fascinating stuff. Really gets you thinking.
One source even talks about a city using AI to predict crimes before they happen.
Like something out of a movie, right?
Totally. But that's where the ethical questions come in.
Huge ethical questions.
So let's start with that first topic, AI surveillance. Imagine a city covered in cameras, all powered by AI, promising to keep everyone safe.
It's a big promise for sure.
But some people are concerned about the privacy implications.
Well, think about it. We've had regular security cameras for ages,
Yeah, true.
but AI adds this whole other layer. It can analyze live footage, pick out suspicious activity, potentially even predict crimes before they occur.
It's like giving the cameras a brain.
Exactly. And that's powerful, but also potentially problematic.
Right, because one source talked about how AI surveillance could lead to faster response times, making the streets safer.
I see that argument.
Like if the AI spots a potential assault, it could instantly alert the police.
Yeah, but what if it gets it wrong?
That's a big what if.
What if the AI misinterprets something and someone gets flagged as a threat when they're completely innocent?
That would be awful. Like imagine being stopped by the police because an algorithm made a mistake.
Talk about feeling violated, right?
And then there's the issue of bias, which a couple of our sources brought up.
Oh, absolutely.
What if these AI systems are trained on data that already has biases built in?
Then it could mean certain groups of people are unfairly targeted.
It's like those targeted ads that follow you online, but instead of shoes, it's increased scrutiny from law enforcement.
Creepy, right? And it raises a huge question.
What's that?
How much surveillance are we willing to accept as a society? Where's the line between safety and freedom?
It's a tough balance to strike.
No easy answers there. But, AI's impact goes way beyond just surveillance.
Oh, for sure. What about jobs? I mean, we've all heard those warnings about robots taking over.
It's a real concern.
One source even mentioned a company replacing like 40% of their workers with AI. Some people celebrated, others panicked.
It's understandable, right? I mean, technology has always disrupted jobs, but AI feels different.
Definitely.
It can automate tasks on a scale we haven't seen before.
And there are different perspectives on this, too.
Of course.
Some people argue that AI will actually create new jobs, better jobs, even, in the tech sector.
That's possible, yeah?
And that increased efficiency could lead to lower prices for all of us.
That's the optimistic view.
But then there's the other side.
People who will lose their jobs in the short term.
Exactly. And what happens to them?
Retraining takes time, resources. Not everyone can just seamlessly switch careers.
So even if new jobs are created, there's a risk of widening the gap between those who benefit from AI and those who don't.
Exactly. It's a societal challenge we need to address.
One source even painted a picture of a future where robots do all the boring work, freeing us up for more creative stuff.
Sounds idyllic, doesn't it?
In theory, yeah. But is that really realistic?
It all depends on the choices we make now, as we develop and implement AI.
If we prioritize human well-being alongside economic growth.
We might be able to create a more equitable and fulfilling world.
It's not about fearing AI, but shaping it to serve us, not the other way around.
Exactly. And that brings us to another huge topic, AI making decisions.
Ooh, yeah, this one gets deep.
Imagine applying for a loan, and an AI is the one saying yes or no.
No human interaction at all, just an algorithm.
That's the reality in some cases, which is why it's so important to think about the ethical implications.
Well, some argue that AI can be more objective than humans,
I've heard that argument.
stripping away emotions and biases from those decisions.
It's an alluring idea, but then there's the issue of transparency or lack thereof.
The black box problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. We often have no idea how these AI systems arrive at their conclusions.
So how do we know if they're being fair?
Good question. And the stakes are high, especially when it comes to things like healthcare, job applications, even the criminal justice system.
It's like being judged by an all-knowing entity that you can't even question.
It raises all sorts of questions about accountability.
It seems like finding the right balance is key here.
Always a balance, right? Harnessing the power of AI while safeguarding against its potential pitfalls.
So much to think about. And we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to explore.
From surveillance and jobs to decision-making, AI is already reshaping our world in profound ways.
And we're just getting started.
It's a conversation we can't afford to ignore.
Absolutely not.
In the next segment, we'll delve deeper into potential solutions and explore how we can ensure AI is used ethically and responsibly.
Sounds good to me. Let's keep digging.
I'm ready.
It's easy to feel a little overwhelmed, right? I mean, all these big, complex issues around AI.
Definitely. It can feel like it's all happening so fast, and it's hard to know where to even begin.
Well, one thing we can do is push for more transparency.
Transparency, you mean like knowing how these AI systems actually work?
Exactly. Especially when they're making decisions that directly affect our lives. It's kind of like, knowing what ingredients are in your food.
Right, you want to know what you're consuming.
Same with AI. If we don't understand how it's making decisions, how can we be sure it's fair?
And how can we hold it accountable if things go wrong?
Those are the key questions. Transparency builds trust, and it allows for accountability. But we also need clear rules, regulations, something like safety standards.
Oh, AI.
Yeah, like we have for cars or airplanes, we need rules of the road to prevent AI from causing harm.
That makes sense. So we need a balance between encouraging innovation and protecting people.
Exactly. And to find that balance, we can't just leave it to the tech experts.
You're saying we need more voices at the table.
Absolutely. Ethicists, social scientists, legal experts, people from all walks of life.
It's like the more diverse perspectives you have, the better the outcome.
I like that analogy. And it's not just about who's involved, but also how we approach AI development from the very beginning.
What do you mean?
We need to prioritize human well-being, not just efficiency or profits. It's about asking, how will this impact people's lives?
Their jobs, their privacy, their sense of agency.
All of that. It's about baking ethics into the very code of AI.
Making sure human values are front and center.
Exactly. And that requires ongoing conversations, debates, working together to figure out the best path forward.
Sometimes, though, these conversations can feel a little, I don't know, abstract. Like it's all algorithms and data, hard to relate to.
I hear you. That's why it's so important to tell stories, give real-world examples, show how AI is already touching people's lives.
So instead of just talking about algorithms, we talk about how an algorithm might decide who gets a loan or who gets hired.
Exactly. Make it personal, relatable, something people can grasp.
And it's not just about the risks of AI, but also its potential, right?
Absolutely. AI can help us tackle some of humanity's biggest challenges, like climate change or disease.
So it's not about AI versus humans, but AI working for humans.
Precisely. And I believe that with empathy, with creative thinking, with a willingness to collaborate, we can shape AI into a force for good.
I like that. AI for good. But how do we make that happen? What concrete steps can we take?
Well, for starters, support organizations that are fighting for ethical AI development.
There are groups out there doing that.
Oh, tons of them. They're pushing for transparency, accountability, fairness. Find them, support them.
Okay, got it. What else?
Educate yourself. Learn about AI, how it works, how it's being used.
There's so much information out there, it can be hard to know where to start.
True, but there are great resources available. Books, articles, even documentaries. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
Knowledge is power.
And don't be afraid to use that power. Ask questions. Demand transparency from companies using AI. If something feels wrong, speak up.
So be an informed consumer. Use your voice. Make it heard.
Exactly. You can also support policymakers who are pushing for ethical AI regulations.
So vote, write to your representatives, get involved in the political process.
It all makes a difference. And on a more personal level, you can foster a culture of ethical thinking in your own circles.
At work, in my community, with my family.
Everywhere. Encourage open discussions, challenge assumptions, promote values like empathy and fairness.
So it's about making ethics a core part of how we approach AI.
That's the goal. And if we all do our part, I truly believe we can create a future where AI empowers us, not diminishes us.
A future where technology and humanity thrive together.
That's the dream, right?
It's a beautiful dream.
Yeah.
But how do we keep this momentum going?
Yeah, it can feel a little daunting sometimes, right? Like all this talk about AI and its impact. But you've given us some great actionable steps.
Well, it's all about taking those small steps, those individual actions.
So for our listeners, what are some key things they should remember? Things to keep in mind even after this deep dive ends. Stay curious. AI is a constantly moving target. There's always something new to learn. Read books, articles, watch documentaries. There are tons of great resources out there.
It's like we've opened the door to this huge, fascinating world.
And don't just accept everything you hear at face value.
Oh yeah, be critical.
Question things, challenge assumptions. If you see a company using AI in a way that seems wrong, don't be silent.
Speak up.
Contact them, share your concerns, support organizations fighting for ethical AI. Your voice matters.
It's about making sure AI serves humanity, not the other way around.
Exactly. And remember, at its core, this is all about people.
Not just about algorithms and data.
It's about using AI to build a better world for everyone, a world that's more just and equitable.
So, as we wrap up, we want to leave everyone with a sense of hope, a sense of empowerment.
Because the future of AI is not preordained,
It's still being written.
and we all have a hand in shaping that future.
Every choice we make, every action we take.
It all makes a difference. Let's choose wisely.
Let's create a future where technology and humanity thrive together.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
We hope this has given you some food for thought, sparked your curiosity, and maybe even inspired you to take action. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the world around you.